We're in a brand new subreddit that I've never read a story from before. Over in r/true off my chest with a post by Wedding Dress Throwaway. Bleh. Wedding Dress Throw 11. One of my husband's friends made me uncomfortable at our wedding, but it's my own fault. Last weekend, my husband, 27 male, and I, 30 female, got married. It was a great wedding, and I had a great time leading up to it. There's been one thing that's left a sour taste in my mouth. Growing up, I always wanted a big princess wedding. I know some people see those as tacky and immature, but it was always my dream. As part of this, the theme for our wedding was ballroom. And I told everyone to wear the nicest things they owned and told the women in particular to try to outshine me. I even went as far as telling the married women to wear their wedding dresses. Aw. I didn't care about being outdressed. Instead, all I wanted was to fulfill the aesthetic in my head that I had for the wedding, which included everyone else looking nothing less than extravagant. And no, before people ask, I don't regret my decision. It was really special to see my mom, aunts, and bridesmaids all in their own dresses on my big day. It kind of felt like they were passing the torch on to me, and I really enjoyed the experience. Now, on to my husband's friend. My husband has this friend I'll call Kate, 27 female. Kate is my husband's childhood friend and first love. My husband comes from a small town, and the majority of his friends he's known since adolescence. In their senior year of high school, Kate and my husband got engaged, which is kind of normal where they're from, but called off the wedding and never went through with it. It was mutual. They felt they were growing up too fast and wanted to slow down. The calling off the wedding was the end of the relationship, but they stayed friends. I knew this information prior to getting with my husband and never had a problem or felt jealous because I'm friends with a few exes myself. In fact, two of them were invited to our wedding. One was my bridesmaid, I'm bisexual, and the other was invited as a guest along with his current girlfriend. Oh, that's progressive. I've never had a problem with Kate being my husband's ex, but I have had a problem with Kate as a person, as she's kind of bitchy and gossips like she's still in high school. A few examples of this are just a month into our relationship, she confessed to my husband she still had some lingering feelings, to which he responded they had already tried that and it didn't work. If she brought it up again, he would cut her off out of respect for me. I wasn't that mad at the time because I understood they had a long history and my relationship with him was just starting out. And she owed it to herself to see if there was anything still there before it was too late. However, after she was turned down, her attitude towards me changed to a fake nice and started calling me things like cougar or asking me how I expected to make a relationship work as I wanted to be an anesthesiologist, which would require long hours, or telling my husband's whole friend group how she doesn't like my loud personality. And when I confronted her about all of these things, she would just say, "Oh, it was just a joke," or "You're so loud, I felt like you would just go off." There's more shit, but if I typed it all, I would never get to the point. Why did you even invite her? Kate has her home. Kate has her own husband, I'll call Gerald. Gerald. Kate and Gerald both make average in terms of finances, as they are both teachers. Kate is a kindergarten teacher, and Gerald teaches seniors. They got married last year. On a teacher's salary, Kate wasn't able to afford the most luxurious dress out there, but I always had the impression she was happy with it. Kate does have another wedding dress from when she was going to marry my husband that her dad paid for, who has unfortunately passed away now, which in terms of fanciness is a bit nicer than her new dress. But obviously, she didn't want to wear that dress to her own wedding. Yeah. I was expecting Kate to wear the wedding dress she wore to her own wedding, to our wedding, but when I looked and saw her, she had the wedding dress she was supposed to wear when she was getting married to my husband. When I saw her, I immediately went, "What the fuck?" but just decided to drop it because I didn't want a conflict on our wedding day. My husband, however, was also confused on why she wore that one and asked her about it without me even having to tell him I was uncomfortable. She responded, "Well, if your wife wanted such a big princess wedding, I thought I'd wear this one because it follows the theme more. Don't tell me she's upset about it. She's the one who said, 'Come in your nicest clothes, and this is my nicest dress.' Bitch, I feel like I'm not allowed to be upset, even though I am. I know this is my fault, but the whole thing has left a bad taste in my mouth. I would have never been okay with her wearing that one if I'd known she was going to. And I feel like she should have asked. I keep telling myself it's not that big of a deal. And during the daytime, when I'm distracted, I don't even think about it. But I've always been a night owl, and it makes me feel shitty every time I think about it before I fall asleep. So now I'm here complaining on Reddit like a loser. I feel pathetic." God damn, OP. God damn. You can be upset. You can be upset. You're kind of progressive in your thoughts, having your exes there, to being so close with one of your exes that they're your bridesmaid, right? I'm just too jealous of a person. I'm not friends with any of my exes. Let me stop. I like to tell happy birthday to one of them, because they tell me happy birthday to me, and I'm just like, ugh. Manners maketh man, right? You got to return the favor, but we do not talk, and it's still kind of odd because I'm friends with her mom on Facebook. Let me stop. They aren't watching this. That would be so weird if they did. I'm sorry, my brain is buffering. Give me a second. OP, it is awesome that you can be friends with your exes. Maybe they're like low-level friends, except the one bridesmaid, right? That's a high-level friend. But this is more so on your husband. He should have dropped Kate as a friend when she was acting fucking weird a month into your into your relationship. Yes, she should have. And as she continued to be a bitch to you, he absolutely should have dropped her, and you would not have experienced this at your wedding. Yes. This is spot on. This is how I feel. Yes. Are you, and no, this is true off my chest. This is not, am I the asshole? Yeah, you should and should not feel bad. It's more so on your husband for still being friends with her. And you wouldn't have had to deal with this on your wedding day. You would not have to look back on your wedding day and be like, there was that one bitch there. It was just so fucking weird. Yes. I got my thoughts together. I spit a little bit, my bad. But I got why am I apologizing? Why am I apologizing to y'all? I didn't spit on y'all. Y'all good. Top comment with 5.3K upvotes. Gerald is a hilarious name to make up. I hope his real name is Harold. Why is that the top comment? It's not. Why is that? Reddit is so weird. Now I'm back to being sleepy. Ooh. Oh, that's not top comment. That's best comments. When did there become a sort by best? That's different. Okay, that was the best comments. We're going to resort real quick. Me no like. Top comment. Whoop, 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 whoop. Top comment. There we go. By Phoenix_Spirits with 18,000 upvotes. Fuck your 5K. OP, Kate had to sit in the wedding dress she was supposed to marry your husband in and watch him marry you instead. Someone took an L here, and I don't think it was you. Ooh, yeah, because did y'all change? Did everybody change from the wedding to the reception? I don't think so. Ladies, comment down below if you're comfortable sitting down in your wedding dress. Don't some of y'all dip and change into a different dress or take off parts of the dress so y'all can be comfortable sitting down? I can imagine sitting down again in a church, in the pews, in a big floofy ass dress. Huh. Uh, Miranda isn't right. Yeah, I need some capital letters in that one. I'm struggling here. I need new glasses. Replies to Phoenix_Spirit. And geez, Kate's husband had to see Kate wear that wedding dress too, knowing it wasn't the one he saw her wearing, that he saw her wear walking down the aisle. By not making a fuss about it, you probably got on Kate's nerves even more. She was wanting you to throw a fit, and your grace was a dish best served ice cold for her. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, this is a possibility. Oh, shit, I lost some comments. That kind of sucks. I lost some comments. Scroll, scroll, scroll. Somebody has a paragraph. Do I want to read this? Oh, yeah. And K-Babble21 has the same exact sentiment as me. But she didn't have to. She didn't have to be there. Insanity to invite her first love, who is a bitch to OP, to the wedding. There's no excuse. OP's husband wanted his fan club there. I mean, potentially, but that would be the same thing as OP having her fan club there. Everybody's inviting their exes. Just don't do that. Crazy Kayat lady. Crazy spelled with an IE. Cat spelled CAYUT. Lady spelled LAY capital DEE. The usernames. And I know they had to be annoyed because they just wanted to be Crazy Cat Lady, but it was definitely already taken. So Crazy Cat Lady comments several paragraphs. And I don't know what they are. I'm going to just read them because I'm crazy. Or maybe she had been bugging the hell out of him to get back with her. And this was his way of letting her know for the last time that he is out of reach. Won't work. Subtly rarely works with this kind of woman. He's have been better off telling her to fuck off at the wedding if that is what he wanted. The way y'all type makes me not want to read what y'all say. OP, I think you should sit down and talk with your husband about going lower contact with Kate. When she invites you out, have something else planned. When she calls, skip the call. Then text her a bit later saying, sorry, was busy. What's up? If she texts, wait a few hours before answering. And if she suddenly texts him with some emergency, he takes someone with him. If he responds, are y'all that close? UDH. Sounds a lot like mine. What are you saying here? He sees the best in everyone. Oh, you meant your, and DH mean dear husband. Okay. Your dear husband sounds a lot like mine. He sees the best in everyone. We had to have a long talk and set some boundaries with a coworker of his a few years back. I will call her Michelle. He insisted Michelle was just lonely and needed some friends. I insisted she was husband shopping and he was next on the list. So we set boundaries, and boy, he saw the difference immediately. She had a tantrum because he stopped having lunch every day on the floor in the office. Oh, taking her out to lunch. I see. The way you right. Ooh. She isn't financially challenged. She just discovered that my husband is a gentleman from another era who thinks that if a man and a woman have a meal, the man pays unless the woman insists. Aw. He's got deep-rooted patriarchal misogyny deep in his soul. Be a feminist. Let her fucking pay for herself. Your coworkers. Weirdo. Then one day she called him. She was stuck on the side of the road and needed a ride to work. We happened to be together when the call came in. My car was in the shop, so I was driving him to work to keep his car. He told her he would be right there, and we went to pick her up. When she saw me, Michelle was furious. I know she had something planned, and me being with him fooled it. After I asked him if he wanted to after I asked him if he would have picked her up on his own and without thinking, he said, "Of course." Now, I'm just having a hard time reading. That one's on me. I need sleep. Then I need a nap. Then I asked him what he would have done if, after they got to work, she claimed he SA'd her. Oh, he was shocked. Why would she do that? Dear husband can be a babe in the woods at times. I think your significant other is the same, OP. Teach him. I wouldn't want to be with somebody that dumb. Right? Nice at the expense of being naive, ain't it? No, I don't. No. Me no likey. Me no likey. Let me rearrange this real quick. Whoop, 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 whoop. Rearranging. That fucked things up. That's on me. That's on me, guys. I was trying to find more comments. Hey, yo, I found more comments by OP. Whoop. Mammoth-basket-4960 commented with 1.6K votes. Many are saying to take action against her, but you've been classy. Remain classy. Ignore her. If you confront her, she will be making up some tall tales. If she confronts you to dig in, start recording on your phone and keep it in case you need to use it to refute any lies she spews. However, I will let your husband know and ask to keep the conversation confidential between you two that it hurt you, and a slap at him for rubbing a dress during your sacred ceremony. In your face? Is that what you meant to say? It was a low-class move. It was at you and your husband's expense. Not only did it disrespect you both, it was a big ass insult to your husband. Why did you censor yourself? This is the internet, woman. Man, they. I don't know. She has most likely mentioned she wore that dress to the wedding. All your friends, if they are true friends, already think it was weirdly insulting on her part. And OP replies, God, you sound like mother... MOH. It's not mother-in-law. MOH means my own husband? No. What does MOH mean? Guys, these acronyms. I'm not on Reddit like that. Medal of Honor. Nope. What does MOH mean? Oh, Maid of Honor. Okay. Ooh, okay. All right, let's go back to that comment. OP replies, God, you sound like my maid of honor. Had you said my, this would have made more sense to me. You didn't put my there. After I made this Reddit post, I decided to tell her about the dress since the only ones who recognized it were my husband's friends from high school. And almost word for word, this is what she said. Ooh, you got a good ass maid of honor. I wonder if your bridemaid was looking at you like, damn, you look good. Let me stop. From a deleted user, they get OP to make a paragraph. So let's read what they said. I just need to ask why your husband is still friends with her. That she doesn't respect you. I will never be friends with someone who treats my partner like that. You should be mad at her. She's a bad person. In fact, but why is your husband accepting that? You should be mad at him. And OP replies, most of the stuff she did was at the beginning of our relationship. We've been together for 5 years, which did lead to my husband lead. Everyone in their spelling, their grammar, I could fight them. Ooh, I would punch my monitor, but I spent too much money on it. I like expensive things, guys. You like my shirts? I'll do a fit check like later. Later. Which did lead to my husband having a talk with her about not being friends anymore. She said she was sorry she offended me and didn't realize I didn't have their, referring to his friend group, sense of humor. He said that maybe the things she says just aren't funny. I tried to whistle there, but I couldn't. I'm trying, guys. I just learned how. This only been a couple weeks. Where'd I leave off at? And once she said that, it only reinforced his decision to cut her off because he said, even now, you just can't say sorry. It's always, I'm sorry, but. Ooh, which shows you aren't sincere. It was really awkward because she was friends with all his friends and we still saw her around, but he would just hold my hand and ignore her. Shout out to your mans. That lasted about a year until she got with Gerald and she finally gave a sincere, or at least what I thought was sincere, apology and said she realized after getting with Gerald, who is the love of her life. How how upset she would have been if our roles were reversed and she asked for another chance for all of us being friends. Despite my better judgment, I agreed, and while the comments aren't so directly rude anymore, sometimes her tone towards me sounds like she thinks I'm dumb. You kind of are for, even letting this bitch spin back. Or I feel like there's a double meaning to her words. I've noticed she's kind of a bitch to all her friends, though, and they've just accepted it as part of her personality. I've been feeling like I'm going crazy for a while because she hasn't said anything directly rude. But after reading these comments, I'm going to have a conversation with my husband about it tomorrow. I'm African American. To the people out there, I'm black, right? And black people, they roast their friends and their family members to their face, and they do it back. That is like weird parasocial bonding, trauma bonding, right? Because at the end of the day, you're making fun of someone to their face with a group of people watching and laughing as the other person gets you back or tries to, or vice versa. And here we have a situation where just one person is a bitchy bitch and everyone just kind of accepts it. No one should accept any of that kind of behavior. I'm not really truly a fan of it. One-off jokes are cool, but definitely not at the expense of people, and definitely not about things personally that they would not find funny. And it was just mean and rude, man. It's just mean and rude. I don't like this. Y'all are kind of dumb. And she peep game how much of a spine y'all lack, and that's why she was able to do this shit on y'all wedding day. Y'all, you already cut her off. Why are you resetting the chances to give her? You gave her one chance. Well, it seems like several, but one real chance. And your husband was like, nah, fuck that. I've peeped all the nasty shit you've done. And you have never really apologized. You had one chance to apologize. That shit did not count. Meh. Over to the update. I'm tired of reading these comments. Pissing me off. Update. Hello, guys. Here's the update. So I talked to my husband about it this morning. And when I brought it up, he immediately let out a sigh of relief. He said, I didn't know how to bring it up because you didn't seem bothered. But when I saw her in that dress, I thought it was very weird that she wore that one. You think? He went on to say that he even considered asking her to leave because he thought it was rude. But because I had no reaction to the dress, he thought I either didn't care or didn't realize it. But either way, if I wasn't bothered, he didn't want to disturb my peace of mind by kicking her out. We discussed that he's going to have a talk with her, not just about the dress, but her treatment of me in general, and explain that going forward, she will not be a friend in our lives. You're already fucked up. After this talk, I decided to let it go and focus on my new marriage. This was a small thing, and now, after I've talked it out with my husband, I feel kind of silly I let it bother me this much. Where's the where's the real reflection and growth? I'm at peace she will no longer be in our lives, and that's enough for me. Someone said you gave her the chance to wear the dress her dad got her and gave her a gift. That was kind of a moment for me because no matter what her intentions were, that is true. And I'm glad she got to have that moment. End of update. The rest of this is just answering questions and explaining what the wedding looked like. Okay. Oh, okay. I'll read. I'll read this. I'll read this because there's another update underneath. Underneath. A common question is how did we even know what the wedding dress looked like? Ooh, I want to know. I said it a few times in the comments, but I didn't. I had to skip those comments. I'm sorry, guys. But I've seen it a couple times before in her closet. Usually, when my husband's friend group hangs out, the guys all get ready at one of their places, and the girls get ready at one of our places. Why? Why? Whatever. Then we all meet up to wherever we're going, whether that's a pub crawl or a concert or a music festival, etc. Kate hosts pretty regularly, and it's during those times I've seen her in her closet while she looks for something to wear. And when she got married to Gerald, she put her other wedding dress right next to the high school one. Oh. As for my husband, I asked him about that today, and he said when they broke up, Kate asked if she wanted to see the dress since there was no point in hiding it anymore, and he said yes. And then when they told their friends the news, the friends also wanted to see the dress, so she put it on for them too. It's cool that everybody's still in like shape from being in high school because y'all are in y'all late 20s, early 30s. Oh, wait, no, they're all probably 27. It's just OP that's 30. Damn, I forgot about that cougar comment. Yo, this couple is kind of bitch made. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, why you calling me a fucking cougar? I'm 3 years older than my man. Like, what is this is some no backbone shit right here. Yeah, the true off my chest. If this was am I the asshole, you'd definitely be an asshole to yourself because there's no real like growth or like accountability here. You kind of just like gave it all up to your husband to handle this situation. I don't see you saying that you fought back and you defended yourself when this girl is like out here just dragging you. Because to me, she's dragging you. To you, do you just think it's a little mean and you're not really sure? And some of this seems kind of backhanded. Bitch, she was spitting in your face to you every time she opened her mouth in your direction. No, you're 30. You're 30. You're the elder of the group now. You're 30. Act like a fucking grown up. We're going to skip the comments, go straight to the update number 2, which is technically update number 2. Yeah, it's update number 2. Hi, because it's all in the same update. So I don't know if anyone even cares or still remembers my post, but I thought I'd make another update. Before I go in, I would just like to make a disclaimer that these are all things my husband and I have heard through mutual connections / friends. So who knows how much of this information has been dramatized for gossip. When my husband talked to him, I think I called her Kate in the post. Yes, you did. She reacted as expected and called, and started calling me jealous and a controlling wife to anyone who would listen. We didn't let her bother us, though. Neither I nor my husband knew this, but apparently her and Gerald have been struggling for quite some time and have been going to couples therapy. Oh, shit. When my husband cut her off, Gerald sat down and asked him if he really thought that Kate wore that dress out of spite. And my husband answered truthfully and said, yes. Here's what I've been waiting for. Oh, I love the drama. Ooh, we thought Gerald asked because he thought we were being ridiculous. But I guess he was wondering the same himself because he brought up the whole wedding dress thing up in their therapy. In their most recent session, it's being said that Kate finally admitted that she's always thought of my husband as the one who got away. Ooh. And that she wore that dress out of spite and not because it's her fanciest or because of sentimental value. Damn. Shout out your daddy. Well, Gerald then asked if she would go back to my husband if he decided to divorce me. She said no, but apparently she hesitated. And Gerald knew she was lying. Yeah, that's your husband, bitch. He knows. Again, that is what my husband and I have been told. So I don't know how much of that is accurate. But it's being said from multiple people that this is what that this is what Gerald is telling anyone who asks. He messy. What I do know for sure is that Gerald is filing for divorce. He's already served her and is taking her to court in a few months as she is trying to fight to have ownership of some of his assets. Y'all school teachers, y'all ain't got shit. Since this came out, I've had a load of apologies from people who said rude things about me or stopped being friends with me after my husband and I agreed to cut off Kate. Most people who had known her for a while believe, what she was saying about me and no longer wanted to assort themselves with me. That's a weird choice of words. After causing unnecessary high school drama. Their tunes have obviously changed, but I'm not interested in forming relationships with anyone who gossiped or didn't believe me. The whole thing was so dramatic for no reason. Yeah, anyways, I just thought I'd write this for if any, of you were still curious for more info. Oh, so you're going to cut off those people who want to spin back because they've been manipulated, but for all these years you didn't cut off this one bitch who was constantly fucking taking a piss on your head. Now you want to have a spine? Are you being serious? Ugh. On the pictures, I'm not going to post any, but I will explain how it looked for those of you who wanted to know. So firstly, lots of people showed up in wedding dresses, and that was absolutely beautiful. One thing my friends from college did was do a 50s Marilyn Monroe type glam, and it was killer. One of the staff was able to find a red carpet, and we took a bunch of black and white photos of them. I had about 5 girls wear their quinceañera dresses, which was gorgeous. Finally, some parents dressed their little girls up in actual princess costumes. Aww, which I thought was really cute. The guys also dressed really well too. One did a sequin tux. Quite a few went for a rock star type suit. My husband's best man went for this really gorgeous red velvet tux. And my dress was this really shimmery, really poofy ballroom type dress with a flower design on the veil that I got custom made for me. And then I had a design where I could actually unattach the poof part of the dress for the reception. And then by doing that, it turned into this sleek, long white shimmery dress with a leg slit. Damn, girl. Ooh. Ooh. What does your husband wear? What did your husband wear? Oh, I can't even leave a comment. It's been too long. Damn. Top comment. Top comments. I am so relieved that both OP and her husband sound like normal, level-headed, good communicators. No, they're not. No, they're not. They are... slightly above average people, maybe average people. I don't know. Because average is not a good thing in America. That means you are a dumbass. Remember, average intelligence in America is equivalent to those who have the average reading level in America, which is that of an 8th grader. Over half of Americans read at and below a 6th grade reading level. Those from the ages of 16 to 74, I believe. That is over 140 million Americans. Ooh.